Good afternoon, fight fans. We're live here at the Power Hour. My name is Maurice, the Beast Salmon, and I'm here with Jacksonville's own James Smiley of Smiley's Mixed Martial Arts Academy. And today we're going to talk about UFC 207. We're going to give some of our fight predictions, going to give a little bit of insight on the fight and what we look to happen, and probably look to hear back from some of the fans. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start it off. And I'm going to ask Smiley, first of all, what do you think about this card, man?
Good card, great card. Last card of the year for UFC. Very exciting fights. The long-awaited return of Ronda Rousey.
Yes, yes.
Some people are very excited to see her fight. Some people could care less. But I think it's going to be a good card. Good fights.
A lot of good matchups, man.
Yes.
Couple of fights in particular, and I'm sure you know one in particular I'm interested in.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That I'm looking to see the outcome. So let's just jump into it. Let's just start talking about the card and go down the list. So first fight we want to talk about on the undercard is Charles Oliveira and Tim Means. In this fight, I'm going to go with Oliveira. I think Oliveira is the more experienced fighter. I think he's got a better grappling base. He's a better striker, in my opinion. And I think he's going to be able to push the pace and probably finish Means.
I agree. I have to agree on that.
And the next fight, let's see. Thatch versus Nico the Hybrid Price. Interesting matchup.
Yes.
This would be Nico's first fight in the UFC. He's on an 8-fight winning streak. He's undefeated. The welterweight champion of Fight Time Promotions, and he steps in to fight an experienced fighter in Thatch. So, who do you have in this one?
Gotta go with Nico.
Well, I'm gonna go with Nico too for obvious reasons. I had the opportunity to fight the guy, and I'm rooting for him. So I'm gonna go with Nico. I think he's got a huge upside, and I think he can win this fight. I think it's a very winnable fight for him. So
Shout out to his coach, jiu-jitsu coach.
Tronco.
Yes. His jiu-jitsu coach's instructor is also my instructor, Edson Denise. So Edson Denise, shout out to Edson also. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So we're rooting for the home team in this one. So good matchup. Good matchup. And moving right along down the card, you got Powell versus Garcia. Now, I don't know a lot about Garcia, but I do know who Mike Powell is, and Mike Powell's an experienced UFC veteran. With he's been in the game for a long time. Exciting to watch. He's fighting on the Fox Sports undercard, so I'm gonna go with Powell in this one.
Same.
Powell.
Same. Yeah.
Okay. And another one that I'm not too sure about, but I'm gonna take Carlos Jr. versus Vettori. I think his last name is Vettori. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't really know a lot about both of the fighters, but looking at their records and looking at the guy's history, I'm going to go with Carlos Jr.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this one. I got to be honest. I don't know enough about either one of them to say yeah or nay on either one. So I have to pass judgment on that one.
But if you had to pick one of the two,
if I had to pick, it would be a roll the dice. I would say Carlos Jr.
Okay. So I think so far,
junior or senior?
That's junior.
Junior, okay, Carlos Jr.
So I think so far we've been pretty much solid on our first 4 picks. Moving on to the main card, you got looks like Smoker
and Borg.
And Borg.
Go with Borg on that one.
Now this is an interesting matchup. I like Borg for a couple of reasons. I think he's got good cardio. I don't know a lot about Smoker, but I have seen Borg a couple times, and I think he can press the pace, and I think he can win the fight with his striking.
I think he will push the pace. I don't know a lot about Smoker also, but I gotta go with Borg.
I agree. I
mean, every fighter in UFC at that level has the opportunity or can push the pace. They could all, you know what I'm saying? They're at another level. They can. I could see any one of them doing it. Then you have some that can do a little bit better than others. I can see Borg pushing the pace.
Yeah, I think Borg's probably going to push the pace and get the knockout by the first or the second round. Moving along, we got the perennial UFC veteran Dong Young Kim.
Oh yes.
And he's fighting Safadine. Is I said that right? Safadine. I'm not really too familiar with a lot about Safadine. These guys are fighting on the main card, so I'm gonna assume that he's a gamer. But I do know who Kim is, and I have seen Kim fight very, very many high-level fights in the UFC. Very experienced. Very experienced. I think Kim can win it. I think he can win it with his hands. I think he can win it on the feet. Your take?
Kim.
Kim.
Yes.
So we'll both take Kim in that one as well. And then moving along to the main card, I think most of these fights are pretty much ones we can give a little bit more input on because these are some of the top tier guys in the UFC. So Johnny Hendricks, Neil Magny.
I like Hendricks, but I'm gonna have to go with Magny on this one. I don't know if Hendricks is like he missed weight again. He can fight. Guy can bang. He can if he hits you.
He was UFC champ.
He was UFC champion.
Right.
But I don't know what's going on with training or I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Just Magny just seems like he's on point.
Right.
And Hendricks seems like something going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can't have something going on at that level because that'll
anything. And I agree. Looking at how Hendricks has performed his last couple of fights and watching him drop the fight to Kevin Gastelum, I believe. Yeah. And then his next fight, I believe he lost was against Stephen Wonderboy Thompkins at 170. And Hendricks has been struggling with weight. He hasn't been the same fighter honestly since the Robbie Lawler 1 fight. So he's looking for a win. Hendricks needs this win. So looking at how he looked on the scale and looking at how he looked at weigh-ins, weigh-ins is a deceptive thing, but I don't think Neil Magny's faced this level of competition yet. I think this is the highest. This is a step up in competition for him. I think Johnny Hendricks is a test, and I think that this is a fight that will determine if Johnny Hendricks is going to be a gatekeeper at the 170-pound division from now on. So I'm gonna go against the grain, and I'm gonna take Hendricks in this one, just because I think he's been there, done that, and I think this is a bigger fight for Neil, and so that we'll have to see where the chips fall in this one. Okay. Next fight, T.J. Dillashaw against John Lineker. Interesting matchup.
Yes. I gotta go with Dillashaw. He's a champ for a reason, and he was dethroned by Cruz, which Cruz would dethrone anybody. So.
Sure.
but Dillashaw is no slouch. So I see him, and I see him. It looks like he's improving. You know what I'm saying? He's not just the same fighter he was 2 fights ago. To me, it looks like he's improving every time. It's like like we talked about earlier today. It's like he's taking a page out of Dominic Cruz notebook. You know what I'm saying, with
everybody
and such. So I see him improving, and I even watch videos of him training with Dwayne Bang. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It looks like it looks like he's been good, man. He's not one of those guys who can hit mitts and just look good on the mitts and not be able to do it in the cage. Mm-hmm. He can look good on the mitts and do what he does in the cage. Not everybody can do that.
Okay.
It looks like he can. So from what I see with him training, it looks like he's doing some new stuff and improving. I can definitely see him doing that in the fight.
I like Dillashaw. I really do. But I also like John Lineker for a reason. He's a tough guy. Yeah. He hits hard. In the Dotson fight. Yeah. Those 2 guys we just talked about earlier. Yeah. They were trying to take each other's head off. And Lineker is no slouch to he's no slouch to big competition. He's used to these big type of fights. So my gut wants to tell me to go with Lineker because I think that he's going to bring the fight to TJ. I think he's going to be out to prove something, and I think he wants to prove that he's at the top tier of that 135 weight class. So, but as we stated, Dillashaw is the champion for a reason. He was the UFC champion for a reason. He stopped Heenan Barrow. He stopped him twice. He fought Dominic Cruz in a close fight, and now he's looking to get back to championship form. So I think this is going to be a good fight. I don't think it'll go the distance. I think one of these guys is going to get knocked out.
I agree with that.
I think Dillashaw is probably fighting at a different level, though. I think that his angles, his strikes, and the thing about it, he was known for his wrestling when he was at Alpha Male. All those guys at Alpha Male are known to be great grapplers. So I'm going to take Dillashaw on this one also, but I think it's going to be a close contested fight. Okay? And let's just keep moving, man. Let's talk about the co-main event. Let's talk about the fight that everybody wants to see. Let's talk about these 2 guys that have been talking trash for the last year, and I think this is probably the last person in the stable of Alpha Male that he has to fight. Yeah. Dominic Cruz against No Love, Mr. Cody No Love.
Man, this should have been a main event to me. I think it's going to be a barn burner fight, and I see Cruz winning. I see Cruz. I see Cruz winning. He has to beat Cruz. You have to hit Cruz. Mm-hmm. Who hits Cruz? who hits him repeatedly. You might catch him with a shot here and there.
He's only getting hit in training camp, obviously. He's only getting hurt in training camp. So I don't think that, I don't think Alpha Male particularly. I don't think Team Alpha Male has the right formula to beat Cruz. I think that, they've got a lot of tough guys. I think they've got some of the best guys in the world. But I think Cruz has that camp, that whatever it is that they're doing, he has it figured out that, and he said it perfectly. He said that, I can bring in 10 guys like anybody at Alpha Male. They can't bring in one guy like me to compete against, to get prepared for me. So his style, his grappling, you got to remember, this guy started grappling with Lloyd Irvin. He was under the Lloyd Irvin system with Phil Davis, Brandon Vera, Mike Eastman. Is that what I'm saying?
Mike the Beast.
Yeah, Eastman. So he has been through he's been through it with some of the top level guys for a long time. He had time to rest. He had time to let his body heal for the time that he's been off. He's healthy now, and I think we may see, we may not have seen the ceiling of Dominic Cruz yet. So I'm gonna go with Cruz overwhelmingly. I think he finishes. Cody.
If he doesn't finish him, he's gonna beat him up for 5 rounds.
Yeah, and I don't think I just don't think that Cody will be able to get to him and hit him. I don't think that he'll be able to keep up with his footwork or his angles. And the thing about it is, Dominic Cruz throws punches from so many different places in a fight, and he's throwing them. It doesn't look like he's throwing a punch. It doesn't look like he's even setting up a punch, but he's throwing them from places that it looks like he should be going to the left, and he's throwing a right hook. It looks like he should be going to the right, and he's throwing an uppercut. So I'm gonna go with Dominic Cruz on this one for a lot of reasons. So now let's move on. Let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about the return of Ronda Rousey without the belt. She's fighting the Lioness Amanda Nunes, excuse me. American Top Team. What are your thoughts, man?
I think she's going to leave the cage tomorrow night again without the belt. She's not beating Amanda. Yet, so I can't see it. I'm trying to think where she could beat her. I mean, Ronda's better than Nunes in judo. I give her that. She's better than Nunes in judo.
But this is MMA. This is MMA.
And I think the girls who Ronda would beat or did beat in the past, it's like when you fight someone who's like a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the first time if you train jiu-jitsu, first time you meet Hoist Gracie, or first time you meet Helson, first time you meet anybody with the last name Gracie, you're like, oh my gosh, this is Gracie. There's nowhere in the world that when you grapple against them, you're gonna be going 100%. You're gonna be thinking to yourself, this is a Gracie. It's like kind of starstruck a little bit.
Right.
So I think all the girls that fought, not all of them, but in the back of their minds, still starstruck. The UFC and the media made Ronda bigger than life. So when they were fighting Ronda, they weren't fighting Ronda. They were fighting the hype. They were fighting, and they went out there, and none of them were on their game.
Yes.
Until Holly Holm came about. I think Miesha Tate didn't care about the hype. Miesha Tate put up a
I just think
fight.
Ronda was better than Miesha. I just think
so.
Ronda was better than Miesha at one area of the game.
Yeah.
And that was the part that Miesha couldn't overcome.
Yeah.
That last fight that Miesha and Ronda had, I felt like Miesha gave up. I felt like Ronda didn't even sink in their armbar. I felt like Miesha just didn't want her arm torn up again. I think that was in the back of her head, And now the other side of it is Ronda's won some fights by knockout.
Yeah.
She has won some fights in under 20 seconds by knockout. So
now, let's look at that though. The fight with Betch. They both were fighting the exact same, swinging on wild arm punches and
the best career fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think one of them was going to get knocked out, but Betch happened to be backing up. Ronda was going for it. She caught her with a good shot because they were both. Ronda was getting caught with some shots too. They was just a very sloppy rock'em sock'em robots style fight, and Ronda just happened to catch her with a clean shot and drop her.
Right.
The other knockout she threw, was it
Sarah Kaufman?
Sarah Kaufman.
Was that big man?
I think it was Sarah Kaufman.
Okay.
And when she threw Sarah Kaufman, she landed. The throw knocked her out, and she hit her a couple times. She was already out. So that's a knockout. And then the knee to the body of Sarah McMahon.
Right.
Knee someone in the liver, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, I'm not saying it was lucky shots. I just think that when you say someone wins by knockout, you're expecting to see like Chuck Liddell, like tee off on someone, Anderson Silva or whatever.
Right.
A win is a win, knockout's a knockout, but it's not like it's
it's a difference between a TKO and a referee and getting involved and stopping the fight versus somebody laying flat on their back unconscious. Yeah. Correct. And my take on it is, I think that Ronda, like you say, Ronda's a better judo player, and we know she's. I don't want to call her a one-trick pony, but we know that she is a one-trick pony, and that armbar is what saves her. Yeah. So I think this is going to be one of the most skilled jiu-jitsu grapplers that Ronda has faced. You know, Amanda's a tough black belt in jiu-jitsu. She came out of the Nagaro camp on the MMA Masters. Now she's over at American Top Team. So, and they train hard, you know. So Ronda is fighting somebody at the peak of her game right now. She's not fighting a slouch. She's not fighting somebody that the UFC hyped up to make her an opponent, to make it look like Ronda had a tough fight. Ronda's fighting somebody that she could legitimately walk into this fight and get her block knocked off. Yeah. You know.
That's what I was alluding to earlier. The other girls are a little bit, I don't want to say intimidated, because I know they're not afraid of her, but you're fighting Ronda, you're fighting the image, you're fighting the hype, you're fighting all these things, not just the person across from you. Mm-hmm. Holly Holm didn't care about all the other stuff. She's been there, done that. Right. She fought Ronda, and I think Amanda's the same way. She don't care about all that stuff. She's going to fight Ronda, and none of that stuff is going to matter to her. It's not going to matter that you went on a 20-fight win streak. It's not going to matter to her that you held you defended the title this many times. It's not going to matter to her that you got a medal in the Olympics. It's not going to matter to her this and that. Amanda doesn't care about that. All she wants to do is fight you. It's just like she's fighting a little bit smaller version of Cyborg. None of that stuff matters to her. She just wants to fight you. So the hype, the whatever, it doesn't matter to her. And when you're fighting someone who now you have to, it's all about you and your skill set. Nothing. There's no mystique around you anymore. There's no one. She's not afraid of you. She's not intimidated by you.
And that's another thing. Ronda's proven to have a dink in her armor, and now women or girls that are in that 135 weight division that are pure strikers, supposedly, they should understand that Ronda has a glass chin. No, not glass chin, but she can be knocked out. Holly Holm proved that with the head kick, and she also proved that Holly's not a great grappler. She may be a blue belt in jiu-jitsu for all I know. But Ronda, she had her in position. She had opportunities to go for the armbar. Holly slipped out of it. She defended exactly what Ronda was trying to attack on. She defended what Ronda's specialty were. And I think if Ronda's game hasn't opened up in the last year and she's developed a more well-rounded game on the feet, if she's not throwing head kicks, if she's not throwing nice crisp punches down the pipeline, if her movement isn't right, I think she stands in front of this girl, and I think Nunes probably knocks her block off. Yeah. Now, the difference is what happens when this fight gets to the ground. If this fight goes to the ground, what happens?
If Ronda is on top, not in guard, on top in mount, she has a chance. Because she's very good at armbar. Like she's a master hitting armbar. If they go to the ground and Ronda's on bottom, she has a chance for armbar. A less chance than she would if she was on top. Because Nunes is not going to lay down for her. She's going to have to... I can't see her submitting her easily. Mm-hmm. If they end up in any other position, I'd take Nunes. So mount, Ronda has to end up in mount, or she has to end up in guard, like tight in guard. Not with Nunes sitting up punching. She has to be head down, legs crossed behind the back. She has to be tight in guard and work for the submission from there or mount. Other than that, it's Nunes.
Let's look at similar opponents that they both have. Let's look at similar opponents that they both have faced and talk about outcomes. Kat Django, Miesha Tate. Both of them have fought both of them. Ronda beat both of them. She beat Miesha twice. Amanda fought both of them. She lost to Kat in a bloody fight, and she knocked Miesha out. So if you just go based off of the numbers and say, well, Ronda beat both of the people, Miesha lost to one of them, then it would look like Ronda had an upper hand. But I don't think we saw the Kat Django that we have been seeing in all of her previous fights on that 14 seconds that we watched her fight Ronda.
Yeah, Kat does not start off fast. She tried to start off fast with Ronda. She made a mistake. Again, the hype, she got into her own head and she did something that she normally doesn't do because of who she was fighting. Right. I think a Kat that didn't care, a Kat that was like, I'm just coming to fight you, would have taken her time and fought the way Kat fights. She didn't fight the way Kat fights. She just pretty much ran into her arms like she hadn't seen her in a long time, and she like embraced me or something.
Right, I'm saying, right. She embraced her. I was shocked, man. When I saw her run across the ring and throw a flying knee, I was shocked, man. So So we're both going to take Nunes in this one, Amanda. It's going to be a good fight. Looking forward to the card tomorrow night. Again, James Smiley, Maurice, Salmon. We're over here at Smiley's Martial Arts Academy, Orange Park, Florida, Blanding Boulevard.
Come second funnest place on earth.
Come check us out. I want to give a quick shout out to most of our sponsors. Junior Seafood, jugopromo.com. Want to also give a plug to our one of our host sponsors, Fighters Digest, the magazine, fightersdigest.com. And we're gonna check out tonight, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow after the fights. Again, James Smiley, Maurice Salmon, and we'll see you guys next time.